Hello, guys. Well, I've been kind of busy, but I'm glad to be back. Well, kinda. So, today we are in Canada in search of master's and PhD opportunities. And particularly, we are at the University of Victoria, or UVic for short. And as you can see on your screen, you can see the amount, the juicy offer at this university. So, for a master's student, you have 17,500 Canadian dollars per year, and for a PhD, you have 20,000. But you can even get this extra 10,000 as well, either as a master's or a PhD. So 10 plus 17, that's 27.5 in the case of a master's student, or 30 as a PhD student. And there are several other funding opportunities apart from these ones that we'll be looking at together. So just stick by, I will show you that. Of course, we'll be looking at the English language test requirements as well, and we'll be looking at the graduate programs that are still open. So those still accepting application. Of course, if you've not subscribed, this is a good time to do so because there are several videos already on this channel on fully funded scholarships around the world, whether in UK, in Germany, in Canada, in Australia, in Romania, several countries around the world. So do well, help yourself, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. That's if you've not done so already. And of course, thanks to those who have done so already and those who have been preaching the gospel of fully funded scholarship on this channel. Tell your friends, tell your brother, tell your sister, tell your neighbors. So let's begin. So let's begin with the English language requirement first, because this is a bit of a problem for a number of people. So the good news is that a number of countries are exempted from providing any of those English language tests, like the IELTS or the TOEFL or this one called MET. So which countries qualify for this exemption? So just click on this link here of designated English speaking countries, and then you can just check for your country. It's quite a lengthy list here, and I've seen my country already, and that's good news. I can see Ghana, I think somewhere up there. Yeah, this is Ghana. And there are a number of other countries here. But in case your country is not on this list, you can go back to the main page and look for how to get an exemption if you already took like your previous study in the English language. That's if your undergrad is already in the English language, but your country is not on the designated list, you can always appeal to them and show them proof that you can speak, you can understand, you can write the English language. Having done that, let's rush to the funding opportunities we talked about. I think we're all eager to, dig our teeth into the money pot at this university. So as I said, if you're admitted, you'll likely be sponsored and get these scholarship worth over 27,000 for a master's, worth 30,000 for a PhD. But there are more opportunities, and usually to be qualified for this opportunity, you have to come with either the first class or a second class standing, as you can see here. Is so you can always read this info on your own, of course. So let's look at the funding together, the other kinds of funding, and then tips on how to apply for the graduate programs that are still open. So these are the different faculties, and we'll be looking at them together shortly. So just stay with me. So let's search for funding opportunities. So we've seen some already, just that there are other funding opportunities that might be department specific, or that might just be there for any department, apart from these, the ones we looked at initially. So these are some of the scholarships, and you can see some of them are like 3,000, 5,000, 5,000. You might see 2,000 somewhere, you might see 1,000 somewhere. So some of these scholarships are awarded automatically. For most of them, you do not need to apply on your own, but just check to make sure. But for most of them, you're just attached to them. If you qualify, you meet their criteria, they are wowed by your application, they just attach one of these smaller scholarships to any of your offers. So there are lots of them here. This is even up to 6,000, and this is 50,000. I think this is an external scholarship. You can always look at these ones and see which one you qualify for, and whether you need to put forward a different application or whether just applying for the course is sufficient. You can see this one here, Canada Graduate Scholarships Masters. And they say the deadline is in December. We'll be talking about deadlines soon, but just have this in mind. And this is 17,500. This is a very good one, quite juicy as well. And I think if you're interested in it, you just click on the link and look at it a little bit more and see the documents that you might have to put in place. Do you have to be nominated by a department? Do you need to submit on your own and things like that? So this is just like a to water your appetite about the various opportunities at this university. So some of them are department specific, while others are open for whatever department you're coming from. So you can always use the filter function to select the department, and this will narrow it down to the department you intend to apply to. For instance, I'm a political scientist, so I'll choose political science. And then when you scroll down, it shows you the opportunities available for all. And then if you scroll down a little, it shows you those for political science applicants or students. So dig in, do your own research, and check for which one is relevant to you and see how to apply. So there are lots of opportunities here. This is just to whet your appetite, to show you that with this filter function, you can find lots of opportunities. And in the university level, as we saw initially, there is this one. It's almost automatic. Not, I shouldn't say automatic, but almost. When you get in, you're likely to get this one covering your back. So, what about the courses? So, there are several courses available. Remember that we're talking about masters and PhDs, so not a diploma or a certificate course. So, have that in mind. This is the business school, and these are the departments at the business school, and you see different faculties as well. But I must say that for some departments, they accept applications just once in a year. For some other departments, they have multiple application cycles. So I'll show you what I mean. Let's go to some of the physical sciences and see. So we could go to biochemistry, for instance, and see. So this is biochemistry, and these are the courses offered in biochemistry. So let's just say MSc biochemistry. So it gives you the basic details. But what I want you to check out is the application deadline. So it says here that there are several applications. You can see there are about 3 entries. So at least one of them, you can catch one of them at least. At least. Um, but this one says you must apply by the 31st of March for a September entry. So, but 31st is past, but you can also try some other one. And to be guaranteed, you have to apply for the 31st of March, but it's already passed. But that doesn't mean you can't get funding, because as we saw, there are lots of other fundings, other opportunities available. And I don't know whether we talked about the assistantships as well. So even if you do not get one of those funded, you can also get a teaching assistantship or a research assistantship. So let's move to another department. You can see there are a number of entry points here. So if we go back, you can also check maybe chemistry, or let's go to ocean sciences. I just want to show you the varieties and the application deadlines. So usually masters 2 years, PhD 4 years. So this is the deadline. So it says application might be submitted at any time, but you can choose this entry point as well, whether you're resuming in September, January, or May. So you can apply anytime. So there might be department variations. One department would say, oh, this is the period where we accept application. Another one will say, come anytime you want. So that is that. So how do you actually apply for this scholarship? Do you send an email to a supervisor? What documents do you have to put in place? So all those are specified here, and usually you're meant to contact the supervisor. You can see find the supervisor here. So go to your own department page and see the instruction there. So this is the Department of Health, of Earth, rather, not health, but Earth and Ocean Sciences. And they say look for a potential supervisor, then contact them. And then if the supervisor agrees to supervise you, then it's a good idea to put forward an application. You can always check the department page for the list of supervisors. I think you can always get them here. The same thing with biochemistry department as well. I think they also require supervisors. All graduate students must have a faculty member who serves as an academic supervisor, and you must list a potential supervisor in your application. Faculty member must agree to be your supervisor and recommend you for admission. So you cannot just put an admission on your own without contacting the supervisor first. You have to make sure they recommend you, unless you might just be there wasting your time. And the documents, the basic documents are written here as well. This department, they're quite good. Biochemistry, they've listed the different supervisors and their areas of interest. So what you do is that you send them an email. And what should be the content of the email? I've talked about this in a previous video. Just go to my video on how to email supervisors. This is just go to the home page and then scroll down a little, where you see letters of motivation and the rest of them. And there's a video here on how to contact professors for supervision for funding opportunities. So just watch this video and you will be fine. So check for your own department and see whether it's still open. Then I noticed that there is kind of a little bias here, which is a bit disappointing, I would say, for those in the social sciences. For most courses in the social sciences, they have just one application window. Let me show you what I mean. So this is one of them here. Let's say philosophy, and let's check the application window for philosophy. Why most science courses have, or practical science courses have, multiple entry application cycles. Um, Arts and humanities have just one, most of them. So let's see philosophy and check. So application deadline, you can see we said here February, and that's just one. So if you miss that one, you have to wait till the next year, unfortunately. You could check for another one as well, linguistics, and fingers crossed that we have multiple. There's always a bias against social sciences, unfortunately. Applied linguistics. Let's see. And it says just one, and it's January. So if you're intending to apply for this course, you have to wait towards the end of the year to start applying against next year. Unfortunately, just one entry. But for the sciences, knock yourself out. There are different multiple entry points for most science courses. For engineering, probably that's the same thing because, well, it's part of the sciences. You could just check again and verify and see the entry points for your course. You can see for engineering, there are multiple entries. So I think the next entry here is by the next deadline is on the 31st of May, which you can make if you're watching this video as at April. So go for it if you want. So that is it, guys. You can see funded opportunities at University of Victoria, or UVic for short, in Canada. We cannot wait to celebrate you. Several people on this channel, I've lost count actually, have been winning scholarships from all over the world. So just go to our community tab here and you see the different testimonies. So this is just free information for you to use to your best advantage. I cannot wait to welcome you to this community and this Hall of Fame when you win your own scholarship. So get to work, start putting your documents together, and I'll see you at the top sooner than later. So bye bye for now and cheers.